What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Digital Art with Jesus Conde, and today we're going to be talking a few topics. The first thing that I want to clear out is that I'm using the Michael Adamides brushes, and if you guys are interested of getting them, there's a link in the description that will really support this channel. And I just want to say that these brushes are really good. They are very intuitive. I do not use them on mixer brush mode. That's something important that you have to keep in mind when watching me painting with them, because I believe like some people just like to use the mixer brush. I completely hate it. I completely hate the mixer brush. I prefer to just paint by mixing the colors the old way, like how I've always done it. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is that the reason why I picked Margot Robbie for this image, basically I had three candidates. One of them was Emily Blunt and Elizabeth Debicki and Margot Robbie, and the other two didn't make it. Once the first one, Emily Blunt, because I just tried it and didn't work out. It didn't look right. Something about the eyes didn't catch the same feeling of the character from the cartoon, and everything else was right. I mean, the height, the shape of the jaw, which is something I was really looking for on this character, and even that Margot Robbie isn't that tall as Emily Blunt or Elizabeth Debicki, she being the tallest one. The thing about Elizabeth was that she was not the muscle mass wasn't there for this character, I think. And obviously this is just in my mind. This is not like a casting kind of thing that I'm doing here, but I do have to like imagine that the person can possibly play this character, you know. It's not like just grab the one person that looks the most like it and just do something with it. I have to feel that she could actually play the character, you know. Anyway, one topic that I wanted to tackle on this video was the practice is boring. Practice is very, very boring, and yeah, you can do a couple of things to make things easier. In my case, this is what I'm doing. I needed to find a way for me to practice painting faces, like kind of like portrait faces and stuff like that, portrait style. And I just couldn't really get the habit of doing regularly without feeling like very bored about it. And I know with discipline you should be able to get over that and just do it, you know. But to me it just didn't feel like it. It was very frustrating to me. Like, how can people like just grab some couple of hours in the day and just paint because yes. And the thing is, I was thinking is that because my job is already do that, like painting. Well, mostly a lot of it has to do with 3D now, but it does involves a lot of painting. Then when I'm going to paint on my own time, it's kind of like more of the same, and it's very frustrating to me sometimes. Even that is something for my own, I do feel sometimes like a little bit bored about doing the same thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you can be lazy sometimes. There's no problem. You don't have to be 100% all the time on energy. But the thing is that I do want to get better on this, and I was just feeling like I couldn't do it. So I just put myself on the situation like, what would it take for me to do something on this, and that I will actually enjoy. And I got that from a workshop that I did with Dave Raposa once, and he said that maybe just try to blend that thing that you want to learn with something fun. And he was talking about practicing anatomy doing animation, and I tried that. It was a freaking nightmare to me, because I don't know, there's a lot of drawing involved there. and I did enjoy a bit the animation part, but I wasn't really focusing on the anatomy. I was more focused on the movement. We completely got the point wrong on the reason why I was doing it. Maybe because I did study a little bit of 3D animation once, and I was really focused on making the animation look good instead of the anatomy or something. But then I was like, okay, what can I do to push myself to be able to do this kind of like portrait paintings from time to time and it's not boring for me? Well, I just blended with something that I did like, and lately I've been watching, not as much as I want to, but lately I've been watching the She-Ra series on Netflix, and I thought it would be cool to make a live action version of the characters, right? And I really do feel like this formula is it's really cool, like it works for me, being able to do these characters and at the same time practice likeness that the person that I'm drawing actually looks like the original one. It's been very fun. I do have to say that sometimes it's still a bit frustrating, but it's more because of the technique that I use, or I do notice that in some parts I really lack the principles to doing this kind of things. But I'm learning and I'm practicing as much as I can. So for this one, this is the one that looked good. I did start another one, the Emily Blunt one, and it wasn't that good. It really looked terrible. And obviously it wasn't too much about the artist, the actress. Although there was something wrong with the character and the eyes that she had, like it didn't look right, the shape or something. So I stopped, but there's also a lot of factors that are involved on this kind of like painting to me. One of them is like the camera has to be certain kind of lens. It cannot be like a telephoto lens. Like if it's very flat image of the face, and you notice that because of the background being a little bit blurry or a lot blurry, depending on what kind of photo you're using or what kind of lens that the camera had when they took the picture or the frame of the movie, whatever you're using. The thing was that if it's a very like telephoto lens kind of picture, to me is very it's very weird when I'm going to paint that. And it has to be like something in the middle. It cannot be like a 24 millimeter or 18 millimeter kind of lens, because then it will look very deformed, and that's more like distracting for me. And some people will be like, what the hell are you talking about lenses? This is a painting. And you do get to, when you work on like with 3D or you've been doing like stuff, mostly my experience with lenses are in animation, but I do have a camera and I do know like the difference between putting the 50 millimeters and using a 35 millimeters, and they look completely different when you're pointing it to a person. So if the picture that I'm going to do is more than 50 millimeters and up, it looks really weird to me, and I cannot paint that for some reason. It's just very distracting, and I could do it, don't get me wrong, but I don't like how it looks. It looks like the person is that's the typical phrase that somebody say, the camera is adding me pounds. Well, that's exactly what's happening. It makes you look fatter because of makes everything flat, and there's nothing wrong with that really, but it doesn't look like what I wanted to do. And if I'm going to do like let's say 10 images of this, then I would like them to look kind of the same, all of them, and it's not like one of them has this kind of lens, then the other one is a 35 millimeter and the other one is a 50. So I'm trying to be consistent in that part. Anyway, I'm rambling too much about that. In terms of painting process, as you can see, the brush that I'm using, the one I picked, was because I do normally use like two kinds of brushes. One is either like a very round brush, or a very square looking one. It could be like a rectangle, flatter. This one is the rectangle looking that I found that could paint, but it has a little bit of texture, not too much, and has the transfer on for the opacity, and it's not a mixer brush, although I pretty much think that you can change it if it is a mixer brush, and you can just make it not be mixer brush, and that's it. Although that wouldn't make justice to the original brushes from Michael Adamides. But you just gotta use whatever you want, like whatever works for you, I will say. And what I like about this package is that you have a lot of variety. You can just scroll and scroll and scroll, just pick the one that you want to work with. And you do have a lot of options. You cannot see it in this video, obviously, because I'm not doing anything else than just a face and some details on the head. But there's even brushes that had like leaves for trees and rock textures and like stuff like that, like bushes. And it's very, very helpful once you're painting environments. And I will be getting to that soon. I will be doing some environment paintings, so you guys can see maybe how do I use these brushes in these scenarios. But I do have to say that I'm more fun of making everything myself instead of the brushes assisting me. But I do like some tricks from time to time, especially if I'm short of time. When I'm at work and I'm doing like let's say that I need to deliver a few sketches, and I cannot wait to get to do the other one. Like more like maybe it's me just being lazy or whatever. But I'm pretty sure in my work they think it's not being lazy, it's more like being effective with the job. So sometimes I'm so excited about painting that I will just try to take shortcuts to just start on the next one and stuff like that. So I do appreciate when some brushes allow you to do that. For example, having like cloud brushes. Instead of painting the cloud yourself, you can just use a cloud brush to get some of that feeling of cloudy, and then do the other ones yourself, for example. Some stuff like that I do appreciate when I have brushes that allow you to do that kind of thing. As you can see here, I'm using a more texture brush, and this one is kind of like rectangular and vertical at the same time, because I'm just trying to get some texture on it, because the other one was looking very too perfect to say it somehow. And I'm trying to get some kind of like a texture looking thing going on, more like a oil painting kind of effect. And I do needed something different. Collapsing a lot of layers, because I do tend to create a ton of layers all the time, and it was looking like I did have a lot. So I'm trying to get those highlights there as accurate as possible without looking too much like a photo or anything. I do not want to completely replicate everything. I just want to get the feeling that someone will see this image and will say, oh, I think that's Margot Robbie. And it's not like just a photo, because in that case I will actually use the photo and that's it, and just paint something on top. That's a commonly used technique, I think, I was gonna say superhero kind of movie concept art or something, but I will say it's very common to use photos of the actress or actors and just paint on top, because of how easy and time effective it is, especially if you are like trying ideas and you want to do a lot of them. You don't have to just paint something that is not going to be get decisions on, like the face of the character or the actor or the actress. But it's more like just let's paint what we need to design on top. Like in this case, the tiara or the crown, whatever you want to call it, or the suit, whatever it is that you are actually designing, instead of the face, because the face is the same face of the actor. I did add that glow there because of the character had it, and it didn't make too much difference, I will say. It just makes everything like brighter. That's it. Anyway, I do hope this video is helpful to you somehow. I don't know how exactly, but I do hope that you guys at least can see in a very quick way the decisions that I make when painting, like doing the highlights right there, or like making little shadows or whatever I need to create these paintings, and pick up a thing here and there to do your own. I do know that these videos are not like step by step and completely explain what I'm doing, and I know to some people that could be frustrating, but I do hope that you enjoy at least watching some part of it, and maybe you can like steal some things that I do here and there to do your own paintings. If you ever do like a version of your own of this kind of work, you try it out, just let me know on the comments. You can just paste a link or tag me on Twitter or Instagram even. I do try to reply as much as I can on Instagram. It's very difficult sometimes because of the quantity of messages, but I do like to respond. I will eventually get to all of them, so don't worry if you are waiting for your answer there to whatever it is that you're asking. I don't think I have too much to say other than if you want to try those brushes out, I will really appreciate it. It really helps me and the channel. I'm not gonna lie, they're quite pricey, but I didn't pick the price. That's Michael's price right there, and I do feel like it's a good thing to have that on the toolbox of your Photoshop. Well, right now I'm trying to just cut the head and move it down a bit because it was too long of a neck, and those kinds of things really make a huge difference effect when you see the image from far away. You see, oh, the neck is a bit longer than it should be. And anyway, this part I just improvised there, and I thought it would be cool to have that double theme there, and I just copied it, and that's it. Copy paste. No, you don't have to do too complex thing if you can solve it that quick very easily. That's the advantage of digital. I don't think you could ever do this on real life. If you cut if you cut the canvas, that's it, you have a hole in there. And here I'm trying to add a little bit of redness to the ears and the nose, to give it a little bit of blush so it doesn't look that pale. Anyway, I really hope you like this video. Let me know in the comments if you like it. Give me a thumbs up, please. That really help the channel and the algorithm to reach more people. Give me an idea of actresses if you want. I'm thinking about the girl on Mandalorian to be a Scorpia. So let me know in the comments if you have any ideas for who actor or actress could be other characters in She-Ra, or if you would like to see another kind of TV show be represented this way. Just let me know in the comments. Thank you very much. Bye.